The price of electricity is increasing by up to 15%. Like, that's just crazy. Almost 15% increment in electricity. So currently, if in a year I'm paying 1,000 cedis for electricity, it means that I'm going to be paying an extra what? 150 Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
That's just crazy,
Yeah.
right? And in this video, we are going to look at everything you need to know about the increasing price of electricity and what are the alternatives when it comes to electricity tariffs and energy situation in Ghana. Now, as part of this video, we are also going to be looking at some very interesting topics, which is a build up from what we discussed last week, because it looks like there's good news. SuperSem has discovered an alternative to clinker. And for me, that is really, really good news, because right now, there is shortage of cement in Ghana. Cement prices have increased and all this. But before we get into the meat and bones of the video, please comment where you are watching from. And the question of the day to you, whether you're watching the live or the replay, is would you prefer to use solar? Would you prefer to use the grid? Or would you prefer to use generator? Or both? Comment and let us know. It's really, really important. And which ones have you used? What has your experience been? We are going to share the good, the bad, and the ugly for all of these. So let's get straight into the topic. But Eton, how many words whilst we start?
Should I answer the question first? Should I be the first?
Share your thoughts.
I would, if I lived in Nigeria, I would use solar.
Okay.
I live in Ghana. The grid used to be trusted. Right now, no. So I'd either go for solar. They have silent generators, right? It's the plants.
Yeah, we have.
So I'll either go for solar or the plants, but the grid cannot be trusted right now.
What's your experience been recently?
And in Spintex, at least where I live, right, it's been very, very terrible in the last 1 week. We've had series of lights out. The lights will come on in the morning, 7 a.m., go off by 10 a.m., go off at 12 p.m. It's just like on and off, right?
Yeah.
And I hear in some parts of Kaswa that over the weekend they don't even have lights.
Oh.
Right? So they get their lights go off on Friday and come back on Monday.
No, are you serious?
Yeah,
Goes off on Friday and comes back on Monday. Anyway, we have some people in the YouTube live comments already. Hero the Legend says, welcome everyone. He's watching all the way from Wale Wale.
Thank you, Hero the Legend.
Amazing, amazing. How's the light situation at Wale Wale? Hero the Legend, please let us know. Are you experiencing the kind of lights out situation that we're experiencing here in Accra? Or maybe you guys are having it easy and better off in Wale Wale, so that we'll go and buy land over there and relocate. Because for me, over here, apart from the fact that we have a solar system set up, right? Yeah. So many a times, I don't know that the lights have gone out, especially in the night.
Yeah.
And so maybe I'm going upstairs or something, and I look at the whole place is dark. Then I notice that the lights are
I'm happy for you though. I'm happy that you get to experience.
No, don't be happy for me. Think about it as a collective, right? Think about it from the perspective of Ghana.
Yeah.
Right? How are people's businesses being affected? In this video, we're also going to look at the implications of the tariff increment, the almost 15% increment in electricity prices. It is going to affect your building projects more than you are aware of it.
Yeah, it will.
So for those who are now starting to build and all that, there's going to be a few crazy months or years ahead of us. Let's get straight into the topic. But again, if you want to join the live interactive session, right, and come on video or audio and share your thoughts, there's a link in the YouTube chat. You can just click on it and you would get access to it. So with that said, let's move into the topic of the day. Now, in some trending news, SuperSem has discovered clinker substitutes. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about the utility tariffs. We'll talk about the president launching a Feeding Ghana program. And we'll also talk about why Kwehu is going to become one of the most important destinations in Ghana.
Yeah.
Why everybody would need to go and buy land in Kwehu. And so for those of you who are in Accra and you are just, look for the distance from Accra to Kwehu.
Okay.
and the time it will take you so that we can look at that as well.
Okay.
And with that said, let's move into the question of the day. Now, we got this question from one of our subscribers it was an email that the person sent. And the person says, "Dear ABH, I hope this mail finds you well. My name is JJ, and I currently make exactly 27,769.59 cedis monthly. I am not married. I don't have any kids, and I still live at home with my parents. I would like to build a house, but I don't even have an idea of where to site it. I have always wanted to live in Akosombo due to its serene nature, but the prices of land I've been seeing online for those parts are quite steep. I would love to know where you suggest I can first get some land." That's the first question. "Somewhere similar to Akosombo wouldn't be bad at all. In fact, do you have land for sale in Akosombo? Further, could you also please advise on whether or not it's even a good idea for me to build? Or should I get my money up first?" A lot of questions in this email. I don't need nothing grand. A 3 or 4 bedroom, 3.5 bath is what I have in mind. I appreciate your help with this, and my apologies for the long mail. And we promised him that we are going to address this question in the live chat. And so wherever you are watching from, I want you to answer this, because he is going to be watching this video, and share your thoughts as if you were the one who was answering to him. And again, welcome to everybody who is joining. We have Charlotte saying she's watching from Germany. Oh, fantastic. Now let's go back into the question, right? He says he's from the question that he's asking. I can guess that he's pretty young, right? And he lives with his parents. So I'm assuming maybe he's going to be in his mid-20s to mid-30s, right? I don't expect him to be 50 years and he lives with his parents, and he's not married, doesn't have any kids, right? So I think the age is really important when it comes to building. I think maybe we need to do that video on which kind of house you should build
and at what age.
Right? If you are young, I feel you have a lot of time ahead of you, especially if you are in your 20s. You can make mistakes and recover. If you are 50 going to 60, you really don't want to
make mistakes.
Exactly. So let's assume that this friend, community member, who is earning this amount of 27,000 cedis is between the ages of 25 to, let's say, 35.
Okay.
Right. Let's also assume that he doesn't have any savings.
Okay.
He's living from hand to mouth, though his salary is pretty good.
27,000 hand to mouth.
Yes. You know, when you get a lot of money, the tendency for you to
taste for foreign goods.
Exactly. The tendency for you to also overspend is pretty high.
Yeah.
Right. So let's even assume he has 100,000 cedis in savings. How much is 27,000 cedis in dollars? So that our international community will have an idea of what it is. Search for us, right? Let's assume he's been able to save 100,000 cedis in his account, and he has 27,000 cedis. Let's round it up to even 25,000, and we see he spent half of it and saves another half, right? So
that's $2,000.
$2,000.
Yeah.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah.
I thought $2,000 is like 30,000 plus.
No.
Has the dollar reduced that much?
Let me even use Google.
Yeah. So let's even assume it's $1,500 to $2,000, right? And he wants to put up a 3 or 4 bedroom house. Today, I estimate that if you are building and you want a very nice house, the way he wants to live in Akosombo, I'm sure he has nice taste. So if you want to build a very nice house, 1 bedroom, you can budget 300,000 cedis.
Okay.
2 bedrooms, 600,000, 3 bedroom, 900, and 4 bedrooms, maybe 1.2 million for a basic, very nice, solid house.
So using Google, it says $1,735.
$1,735. It's his monthly salary.
Okay.
But the point here is he wants to build at Akosombo. Now, can you check on GG how much land is selling for at Akosombo? Because we had somebody contacting us, and this person said he had some land at Akosombo. We never advertised it because it was so expensive. He was selling it in the hundreds of thousands of dollars because he said it's close to the seaside or lakeside or whatever. How much is it selling for?
Hey!
Look here and tell them.
600,000 Ghana cedis.
Wow.
2 plus still Akosombo Water Lake at Domis Riverside.
Okay.
600,000 Ghana cedis.
So 600,000 is like maybe $40,000.
Yeah.
Right. Is it all the two plots or one is selling for
There are two
600,000?
plots.
Oh, then that's okay. Or
Says 2 plots for sale.
two plots at 600,000.
Yeah,
Means
for the
one
whole
is 300,000 cedis.
And another one is selling for it's at Timpuku close to Akosombo.
Yes, within that area.
6 million Ghana cedis.
Are you serious?
Yes.
6 million Ghana cedis for one plot of land.
1.14 acres of land.
Oh, okay. I mean, an acre is like 4.5 plots. So
Okay.
if you divide
6 million is fine.
no, it's not fine, right? Because that's like 1.5 million cedis for a plot of almost 1 million cedis, and it doesn't make sense. So again, what I would want him to do, right? He says he wants Akosombo or places like Akosombo.
Okay.
Places like Akosombo, you can consider Ada.
Yeah.
You can consider Pram.
Pram.
Now, there are places that are greatly overlooked in Ghana here, especially moving towards the central region.
Okay.
So after Kaswa, there are these resorts that people go to.
Yeah.
What are some of the popular ones? There are some popular names.
They have some luxury.
No, there's some popular beach around the Kaswa going to the Winneba side. Anyone who is watching, who knows, should comment for me. We have one of our community members who has also been posting his project at Nyanyano or wherever it comes. And it's a really nice place as well, right? So if you want beachfront areas, you can get those that are not selling for 1 million. When you look at the western side,
Marlin Beach Resort.
Marlin Beach Resort and all these, right? You look at the western part of Accra. Don't look at the eastern. Oh, Bojo Beach, Richard, thank you so much.
There.
Right? So those places, they are not selling for 1 million. You can get between 200,000 cedis, 300,000 cedis. That is what I would advise him to get. And generally, the level of litigation is not as high.
Okay.
Right? Though it's cheaper, it's not as high. And I think that's a good starter pack for him. One, even if there's litigation, you haven't lost a lot of money, as opposed to you putting all your investment into a 1 million cedis land.
Yeah.
And then getting litigation as well. You get me?
Yeah.
So one, get some land that's not too expensive. Maybe 100,000, 150,000. Get it, and then start something. Right? Again, I would advise that if he's earning close to 30,000 cedis, right? He needs to get an additional source of income, because once you start building, your money goes and doesn't come back.
About 27,000 additional source of income.
Yes, 27,000 cedis. Let's assume that even for his foundation, based on some of the work we've done for people, his foundation can cost him maybe 100,000 to 200,000.
So it depends on how long he has also been saving.
Yes, depends on how long. But let's assume he has 100,000 cedis in savings.
So his foundation is sorted out.
The foundation wipes out his money.
Okay.
And he may even need to top up. And so what's going to happen is that he's now going to literally be dependent on his monthly salary.
Okay.
And in life, sometimes like things happen, unplanned things happen that will take your money. Right?
Yeah.
You could be earning the almost 30,000 cedis, but what if there's some retrenchments, there's some optimization, there's some layoff in your organization? So it's always good to have an additional stream of income when you are building a house.
Okay.
Right, so that you can be using that one to fund it,
Yeah.
having some other monies in emergency funds and stuff like that. Right, building is going to teach you a lot about financial discipline. And so if he has another side gig, it will be excellent. But if he doesn't, I would not recommend that he puts all his money into the building project.
Okay.
What I would recommend is, first of all, he should get his architectural drawings.
Okay.
And then his structural drawings and all that. Get a quantity surveyor, which if he comes to us, we can help him with.
Okay.
To give him a bill of quantities for his 3 or 4 bedroom starter house that he wants. He says he doesn't want anything extravagant. 3 or 4 bedroom house. And let him give him a bill of quantities, which will tell him that the foundation, like we said, maybe will cost him 100,000 to 200,000.
Okay.
Then from it, you are doing the superstructure, the block work, the columns, your beams, and all that.
Okay.
Maybe it's going to cost him another 400,000 cedis.
Okay.
Then he knows that if his salary, he divides it into 2, and he's using, let's say, 12,000 cedis every month. Once he's completed a foundation, he needs 400,000 cedis to be able to put the house in a certain level where the wind and the rains are not going to break it.
Wow. I have a question to ask.
Relax. One point before you come to your question. My point I'm making is super important because many a times those people who are building as they go, like pay as you go kind of thing, you gather all your money, you go and do the block work. When you start the block work, it will come up quickly. You see, oh, Charlie, the house is coming up, it's taking shape. But we are in the rainy season and we are moving into peak rainy season in Ghana.
Yeah.
If you do your block work and you don't do the columns to hold it together,
Okay.
small rain, not the heavy ones which fell recently, small one, even wind can push it down.
Wow.
And nowadays, the quality of blocks that people are even making is so terrible, right? It can just break and just become like powder. Right? So you want to make sure that you are building in such a way that you are securing it at every stage, so that even if you run out of money, your building projects, it will survive.
Okay.
For another 6 months when you are saving money, you are getting a loan and all those things.
Okay.
So assuming he's going to do that 400,000 cedis, 12,000 times when is he going to get it? You get my point?
Yes, I get your point.
12 to be 36. So you even let's assume it's 360,000. It means that it's going to take him like 12. Oh, somebody should do the calculation for me because my math has all gone. 12 divided by 360,000. How many months is it going to take him? Let's read some of the comments while you do the calculation. Jedida Israel says, hello, my name is Jedida. I'm watching from NYC. I am currently building in a brief. Fantastic. It's good to have you here. Again, anyone who wants to join the live, just click on the link in the chat and then we'll accept you. How many months will it take him to get something for the superstructure?
It will take, please give me a second.
Okay, so whilst you move on, we go into his question, right? He says he's not married, and I think it's a good thing that he's not married. Though it will be better if he was married and then he and his partner are pooling their resources together.
You say 36,000 or 360,000?
360,000 divided by 12.
30,000?
360,000 divided by 12.
Yes, 30,000.
How can it be 30,000?
So the answer is 30,000. I'm looking at it right here.
12,000. Sorry, apologies. Forgive me. So I'm guessing it's going to be 30 months.
Yes.
Which means what? Literally almost 3 years. So it's going to take him 3 years to be able to save for the superstructure.
Okay.
And by the time the 3 years come, that 360,000 will probably be 500,000, 600,000.
Okay.
And so that's again the reason why I'm saying it will be good. Yeah, someone has mentioned it. Ibao Youngson, thank you so much for answering for us. It will be good for him to get a girlfriend or a wife to support him now when he's single than for him to labor and then get married and then get into a divorce and then lose all that money.
Okay.
You get me?
Okay.
Yeah. So again, share your thoughts. Should he even build at all? Should he wait till he gets the 360,000, which is like 3 years from now? So if he's 27, he starts at age 30, or he should start small.
So my question to you and everybody is, what about mortgage?
What does mortgage on?
Should he also, is that an option he should consider?
Should he consider mortgage?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think mortgage is not bad. Mortgage is not bad, especially considering the amount that he's earning. He should be able to take a mortgage or a soft loan from friends to support him.
Okay.
So let's say he's been able to save the 100K.
Okay.
Right. And he has some friends or family that can give him a loan of, you don't need a whole 360K.
Okay.
Even if he gets 200,000 cedis, his 15,000 cedis or 12,000 cedis every month. In 12 months, he's getting like 144,000 or something.
Okay.
He can add it to the 200,000 and do his superstructure.
Okay.
And then take his time to be paying off. But that's why I said the side gig is really, really important. So you see that the 27,000 sounded like a lot of money to you.
Yeah, it did.
But already, he's moving into almost 5 years to complete his building
project. Yeah.
And for me, I say don't use more than 5 years to build a house.
Charlie.
Because the Ghana that we live in, where they are increasing electricity tariffs by 15% in May, 3rd May, and today is 20th. So we have just literally 16 days or 30 days or 13 days, and then everybody's coming to suffer. Yeah, let's move back into the content. Now he says he likes Akosombo due to its serene nature. I think Ebri is also a very serene area. Ebri is a really, really nice place. So maybe you can contact Jedida who is building in Ibri. Jedidah, how is the experience in Ibri? Is it serene? Is it noisy? Do you regret buying your land over there? Let's also read some of the comments from the YouTube people. Next Level Vision Incorporated says, hello, I'm watching from Accra, close to Kaswa. I'm building in Goma, Pochin, or Potsin. Hello, everybody. Great. So a lot of people are commenting. Again, we want to hear from you guys, right? So let's move back into the topic of the day. Now, is this a good idea for a young person to build a house? Definitely. We are all in support of young people building. Should he save money? Yes.
No, don't save money.
No, he should save money.
Don't save money. Live your life to the fullest.
Yeah, not serious. What kind of bad advice are you giving him?
Enjoy. I mean, enjoy. Why not? I mean, why not enjoy life? I mean, but of course, I mean, you should save money, but if you can enjoy, please enjoy. You're earning good money. You haven't left the house yet, right? I know you want to build and all of that. Enjoyment will come later, they say, right? They say, but if you build today, you can. No.
I think it's another good point he made about living with his parents.
Yeah.
I feel especially the youth of today, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but I really don't care. The youth of today are in a hurry to leave their parents' house. Why? Why are you guys in a hurry to leave? When especially your parents are not sacking you from where you live.
So I had a conversation with my friend recently, right? And his thought process is that as a young person, right? If you want to achieve something, yes, you need to go out of your comfort zone. Okay. Now, it's acclaimed that African parents are very sensitive, right? In terms of like you going out to achieve certain things, especially the times you come back home, right? People who like to overachieve, they like to work, stay outside 2 days trying to achieve something. In doing so, your parents will not be comfortable with you doing that, right? Okay. And there are certain chores and things they may want you to do, especially when you're not really working a 9 to 5 and you're trying to do your own hustle. Most of the people who want to leave the house is basically because they are doing something extra aside maybe their 9 to 5. Okay. Right. And some people claim that they want freedom or peace of mind. I don't know what for. Okay. Right. But then again, it tends to be like your parents sort of have control over everything you want to do. Hence, you're not giving that freedom. So if you work a remote job like this, right, and maybe you're free for like 30 minutes, it looks like you don't have anything to do. Right. So if there's bowl in the kitchen that you wash, you go and wash. If there's some sweeping to go and sweep, you go and sweep. They don't understand that you may be tired from maybe your mental whatever. That one doesn't concern them. My parents are above 50, right? Above 60. In their time, no, when you are working, you're going to work, you're driving, or whatever, you're actually going to work. Now, if you say you're going to work, right, why are you not going to the office to go and work? Like, that shows that you're being productive, right? I have friends whose parents think that going to the office makes you productive. So when you're not going, so that's why most of them want to move away from the houses, because they are not getting that freedom. That's you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I completely get you. But for me, my main point was I was able to quickly build. Okay. Because a lot of my adult life, I was living in my father's house. Okay. Right. And it afforded me the opportunity to save a lot of money.
Was your father overprotective?
Well, he didn't care.
So in the case where your parents are like, don't do this, don't do that, they want to control your life. It sort of prevents you from doing the things you actually want to achieve. Right. So let me use myself as an example. When I started photography, all my brothers were working 9 to 5 jobs, right? They were not going out like that. They go 8 o'clock, they come back by 5, right? I am now leaving the house at 5 p.m. I'm the last born on top, right? Nobody leaves after 5. Me, I'm leaving at 5, I'm coming back at 12 a.m., 1 a.m. What are you on Kwan doing that? Only you want to, so things like that, right? They will not understand. Yeah,
so you are also thinking of leaving your parents?
Oh no, right now they understand.
Okay.
So I'm fine.
All right. So for me, the main point is he should get his money up, but he should start. At least he can start with a foundation. Yeah. It's secure. Then he now starts planning for the other part. And for me, that's why it's critical that he should get his bill of quantities. You know what is required for the next stage. You know what your financial capacity is. You know what you need to do to get, if it's a soft loan, if it's a bank loan that you can easily pay, or if your company will give you a loan without interest, then you go for it. Or if you need to sell your car like I did, then you go for it. No, don't laugh. There are certain drastic decisions that you need to be able to make to be able to accomplish and finish your building project in good time.
Sold your car.
Else you'd really be affected by the price of building materials. Jadida again says it's very beautiful and quiet, so she's talking about Ibri, but building is expensive. I'm trying to get my project done as soon as possible. Kobe Kente, hi, good to hear from you again, my brother. Next level, I read your comment, so I don't know why you are saying I skipped it. Anyway, so let's go back to the comments the subscriber wants us to answer, right? Now he's saying, I don't need nothing grander, 3 or 4 bedroom, 3.5 bath is what I have in mind. Again, here too, I would suggest that he gets a 2-bedroom house or a 1-bedroom house, right? Use that 1 bedroom to learn, you know, use it to learn about negotiations, use it to learn about sourcing materials, use it to learn about artisans, how to manage projects and all that. Instead of going just big bang.
I'm sure he wants to do it once and for all.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying like last week the discussion we were having about doing experiments and trying alternative materials. Go ahead with your cement, which is expensive. Go ahead with your blocks. But why don't you start with a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom? Learn everything. Be richer by the time you complete. And then build your dream house. That's what I would advise him to do. Again, I want everyone who is watching to share their thoughts on this particular topic as we move on to the next part of the program. And again, if you want to join the live, please just share, click the link in the chat and join. Now, during this week, we had some good news, right? Superstem has discovered a clinker substitute. And this is a major breakthrough in cement production. And so let's go and read the news. Now, for those who may be new to the channel, Superstem has held us down for quite a number of months now. Like they are our channel sponsor and all that. So we've helped them. They've also helped the community and all that. They are really, really good. We have a whole video where we went to their labs, their physical labs, their chemical labs. They have so many labs, and the kind of quality they put into research is just amazing. So we have breakthrough, which means that the price of cement may actually reduce. Breakthrough in cement production, Superstem discovers clinker substitute and invest $100 million in this new technology. That's amazing. CBI Ghana, producers of Superstem cement, have invested $100 million into LC3 technology, a key step towards using local raw materials for the production of cement in Ghana. The new plant, located in Tema, which is the world's largest LC3 plant, provides a homegrown solution to the clinker problem by tapping into Ghana's abundant raw material sources as a substitute for imported clinker. Now, speaking in an interview, the commercial director of Superstem, Kobe Adams, said a significant step in enabling this innovation had been the Ghana Standards Authority adoption of the latest LC3 standard in 2024. This landmark achievement followed 2 years of collaboration between Ghana institutions such as KNUST, the University of Ghana, and Ghana's BRRI, which is something research institute, building research, what.
Interesting.
Alongside various international universities and laboratories. This new standard, GSPAS 5 2024, paves the way for the widespread use of this more sustainable and locally sourced cement. Ghana's cement industry relies heavily on imported clinker, leaving it vulnerable to foreign supply problems and volatile global markets. Cement retailers in the country also face growing difficulties with widespread shortages of cement brands, limiting builders' access to essential materials. Behind this disruption lies a severe shortage of clinker, a crucial raw material imported for cement production. Now, the news item continues a lot. Now, this is very interesting because just last week, we were talking about the fact that the shortage of cement in town. A lot of people joined the live and said, it's true. They have also been looking for cement to buy. They can't buy. Some people said they've even paid 2 weeks advance and they are not getting cement, right? And then we also spoke about the fact that Ghana doesn't produce any clinker. China is the world's largest producer, but now China is fighting with US and they are showing the world who is boss. And the whole world, almost the whole world, is getting their clinker from China.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a huge issue that it's a big issue. And I'm really excited that, you know, SuperSem has been able to come up with this. It's really, really good news. And I'm sure others are going to follow. And it means that maybe in the next 5 years, cement is going to be like 20 cities. I pray.
Okay. Well,
I really pray. It will allow you to build your house. It will
Yeah.
allow everybody to build.
very necessary.
So the building industry is going to become very competitive. What that
At
means,
least hopefully we'll live to see the
what
prices
that means,
drop.
what that means is that those of you who don't have land, because now everybody wants to build,
Yeah.
and now the
land
land,
prices will
the land will go like this when
Escalate.
cement comes down, because we live in a country where even if dollar goes to 5 cedis today, people are not going to reduce the prices of things that they are selling.
Yeah.
You think that
Ow.
if today the price of a dollar went to 1 cedi, then it means that the houses that they are selling for $100,000 will become 100,000 cedis.
Yeah.
So remove it to $1 million. I don't know what kind of country we live in like that.
It's like
But
we said last
again,
week, yeah,
I'm
we said.
standing there. Don't tell me that I said it and you didn't take action. Look for land and buy.
Yes.
Buy land as cheap as possible.
Tripoli and the rest.
Go far away from Accra and go and buy land. Because if this $100 million investment work the way I see it working, and cement becomes very cheap, more people are going to build. And so the thing is, land is a very finite resource. There's no new land anywhere. Buy land or buy land, and don't buy it in the expensive places. Be the one who is going to buy it in the bush. I'll say it again. Be the one who is going to buy. I don't know why you're laughing, but I'm very serious. Be the one who is
Be your
going to
first
buy
neighbor.
it in the bush. Buy acres.
In the bush.
Don't go and buy the 6 million one at Akosombo or whatever at Impoku. Buy acres. Today they are selling land 10,000 cedis and things. Ashifla,
Yeah.
Mampe here, after Kaswa,
I've seen a picture of my where we live now, and 20 years ago, 25 years ago, versus where we live now.
Yeah.
And I've seen how bushy Spintex used to be. It used to be like your road. Let me use it for that. It was like this place.
Okay.
Very, well, here it's not very bushy, but it was extremely bushy. But if you see Spintex today, Charlie, it's looking hot cake.
Yeah, Spintex is one of the most expensive areas
Overrated,
in Ghana, right? Very
expensive
overrated
areas in Ghana.
place, right? And that's the same story that's going to happen. Ghana is going to expand.
Yeah.
One railway line is going to change the economy of Ghana. And I know it will come eventually. An airport somewhere in Pram Pram is going to change a story.
Hey, prophet.
Today, land in Ho is selling for 30,000 cedis only. For those of you who don't know cedis, that's like $2,000. Somebody earns $10,000 every month. Use 2,000 to come and buy land. By the end of the year, you have 12 plots in Ho. 5 years from now, it could be selling for 500,000 cedis. Yo, I've said it, I'll say it again. We are working on a series where we are comparing the areas that you can get land in good neighborhoods, which are not expensive. Subscribe to this channel. In fact, if you are liking the video, you're enjoying it, like, share, subscribe, so that when we drop this video, Etona, when is the video coming?
The video is coming very soon.
No, give us a date.
I should give you guys
The
date.
video
coming
is
soon. Coming soon. Coming very soon.
No, the video is coming this week.
Yeah.
At least one video will
will
drop
come this week. Yeah.
Okay.
So come this week.
So stay tuned. We've seen some really good
Come
places
and hold me
that
accountable.
land is very affordable, and the houses people are building there, you won't believe it until you see the video. Anyways, let's read some of the comments from the YouTube. Red Bunny Classic says, I got 715 watt solar panel 6 days ago. It's amazing.
Wow.
Oh, nice. How much did you buy it for? Comment and let us know. Akosia says, solar with the grid. So
the grid as backup,
combination.
or
Yeah, which one would you use as backup, solar or the grid?
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know. Okay. Red Money Classic says, I switch when needed, like at night. Amazing.
Okay.
NK says, Ghanaians feel societal pressure when building. They see their friends building huge homes and they want to compete. Do something small. 1 bedroom is okay. Finish the inside. Don't bother painting. I agree perfectly. For your first house, don't build a 4-bedroom house. What are you saying? You are not married though. You don't have kids. Of course, he's building for the future.
Yeah.
But what if he doesn't marry? What if he doesn't have
He has
kids?
plans on.
He should start with something he can move
So
in.
the one bedroom is like the chamber and hall, self-contained.
It could be a studio kind of setup that you guys go and rent
Airbnb
for your thing.
yeah.
Yeah, Airbnb stuff. It could be that kind of setup. Or it could be like a one bedroom with a hall, kitchen, and all that. You could rent, you could use it for the Airbnb that you just spoke about and all that, right? Start with something, right? You are living in your parents' house, you could be renting it or you could sell it.
Yeah.
You understand? Next level visioning says, my question is, does it matter the size of the plot? If it's 100 by 100 or 70 by 100 for it to be considered a plot or acreage? Hopefully I'm making sense. Yeah, I get you. So next level vision, right? When we were growing up, land was 100 by 100 for one plot.
Yeah.
When I was buying my land, it was 100 by 70.
They started reducing it.
They started reducing it. Now it's like 90 by 70, 80 by 60 and stuff like that. So if you get 100 by 100 and someone is selling to you for one plot, shall buy it immediately? You won't get it anywhere in Accra.
Yeah.
Right. So let's move into the topic of the day. The Super Sam deal has made me really, really excited. Okay, let me admit Kobe. Kobe wants to contribute to the chat. Hi, Kobe. Welcome to the chat. Do you have anything you want to contribute? You can unmute and share your thoughts.
Hello. Hi, Frank. Hi, everybody here. Do you hear me? Okay. Um, Thank you, everybody, and thank you for allowing me to chime in on this one. You were talking about the whole shortage of clinker and everything, and hopefully, if they get it resolved, we probably might buy, cement much cheaper. That may be true, but what I've found also is that buying cement to put up a building is just one aspect of it, right? And we all dream about putting up 4 bedroom, 5 bedroom houses. But to my surprise, as you know, I'm building a 5 bedroom house in Ghana, and it's not so much about the cement anymore. It's about the POP. It's about the tiles. It's about the you know putting the roof on there. It's about landscaping. It's about when you add it up, you realize just putting up using cement to put up that hollow is not just enough, right? The real money comes into buying doors. I had to buy like almost about what 20 something doors because I wanted an institute. So I think you make a point that cement may be cheaper, but I'm saying, yeah, as you get to the nitty gritty of things, you realize that there's a whole new expenses that you never even bother to check until when you're when you have to deal with it. So that's my little contribution.
Thank you so much for your contribution. No, you are perfectly right. The reason why we are placing so much emphasis on cement is because we are looking at the most commonly used building material. So in Ghana, the starter pack, like for you to get a core and shell, right, is cement, sand, stones, blocks, iron rods, wood, right? Those are the starter pack. And because in Ghana, everybody is doing block houses, cement houses, you can't escape the cost, and it's a significant amount. Before we even move to things like roofing and the finishing and all those are next level, right? By then, at least you if you have a roof, you can decide to move in without some of the things you are talking about, tiling and all those. Those are the nice to have.
Yeah.
Right. I keep stressing that when we moved into my father's house in the year 2000, right, there was no tiles. It was just plastered floor.
Okay.
But we lived in it for like 3 years before we got the tiles. There was no electricity.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you can move into a house. A lot of the caretakers who live in people's houses,
Yeah.
they don't have any of these things, right? But they are staying there. You get me? So cement is a factor we can't run away from.
Yeah.
Especially considering that we are in Ghana and we are not looking at the alternatives. And we are using blocks. And cement is also a key material for the making of blocks. You get me?
Okay.
And on average, the average 3 to 4 bedroom house doing block work, doing mortar, doing columns, doing plastering, and doing your walls and also plastering them, you are going to need 500 to 1,000 bags of cement in the lifetime of your building project.
Okay.
Whereas if you are doing the landscaping that Kobe just spoke about,
Yeah.
right? The compound works I did over here, just the floor that we've been working on and packing the cars from, just the floor. It's not even the interior of the house to say you're doing tiling and electricals. Cost me 300 bags of cement, right?
Okay.
And today, if a bag of cement is almost 130,000 cedis, 130 cedis, that's a lot of money.
Yes.
You get it? So the reason why we keep talking about cement and all that is what I've just explained. Let me read some of the comments. NK says cement price in Ghana dictates prices of other building materials. If cement prices go up, all other building materials experience increase in prices. Agreed, right? And even for a house that has already been built, that people are selling, because cement prices are increasing, they are also increasing the price of the house which is already built. You get me? Because the person is now going to say that if they sold this house and they are going to build a new house, they are going to buy cement at the current price or even higher. Meanwhile, when they were building, maybe it was 20 cedis per bag. And so they need to make sure rent increases so that if there's damage to the house, they can do the renovations and all that at today's cement price. You get me? So for me, cement is something that we need to look at as a country. And again, I'm really excited that SuperSem has done this amazing research and come up with this. Now, he explained that the current clinker scarcity and its escalating prices stem from a 5.6% currency depreciation between December and February, and the evolving global market uncertainties, including an increase in the export prices from the Mediterranean Rim, a major clinker source. On the benefits of the new plant to Ghanaian consumers, he said, by producing a significant portion of their cementitious material, SuperSem would reduce the impact of clinker shortages, leading to a more reliable cement supply for Ghanaian retailers and builders. The project, Mr. Adams said, had created over 160 direct jobs through local sourcing and infrastructure development in Tema and Togome, and empowering local women through training programs. While recent price adjustments have been influenced by various operational factors, a more cost-effective raw material supply chain could provide greater price stability and cement affordability. Now, again, this is also good for the environment because it has lower CO2 emissions. And this supports Ghana's climate action commitments and contributes to a greener future. SuperSem's investment in a world-class cement lab is considered essential in developing Ghanaian talent in advanced LC3 technology. This positions Ghana at the forefront of sustainable cement production in Africa. And he said by reducing reliance on imports and adding value to local raw materials, SuperSem's project strengthen Ghana's economy and reduce its vulnerability to external economic factors. This is really good. However, moving on to the topic of the day, right? Though all this is really good, we are going to see another downside to it. The reason being that the production of cement uses a lot of electricity. A lot of electricity, right? And so on one side, there's going to be supposed reduction in price of cement. But on the other side, there's going to be increase in electricity consumption to produce the cement and general electricity consumption by the plants, which will mean that less electricity for the citizens.
For we the people.
For we the people.
Yeah.
And so if we want to maintain the kind of status or enjoyment of electricity that we have, we probably need to go and get more car power plants and things on the sea and stuff like that, which in the long run, I'm seeing that it's going to increase the cost of electricity for the ordinary citizen again. And that brings us to today's topic: solar, ECG, and the generator. Which one do you want? Which one are you investing in? Which one are you currently using? Because currently the electricity situation, for those of you who are not living in Ghana, is terrible. Even those of us who go to corporate offices, like every 30 minutes, you see we switch to the gen and all that. And sometimes maybe the gen will run out of fuel, they go and buy it, and it's powering maybe 1,000 people working at the same time, right? And even if you have generator, you're going to buy fuel. Now, generally, fuel prices have been very stable in the country, and it has even reduced a bit. But the way things are going, it could increase and make things unsustainable. We are going to also look very soon at the cost of having a basic solar setup.
Okay.
Very soon we will address that.
Please tell us. You tell us.
What goes into the panels, what goes into the inverters, what goes into the batteries, and the
Okay.
wiring and all that. How much will it cost you for a basic solar setup?
Okay.
Right? And again, for all of you who have done investments in solar, I want you to put the cost in the chat so that we'll all learn, because maybe my setup may be different from yours. You get me? So let's move straight into that part of today's topic. But again, on the news, right? So we've spoken about the super SEM, we've spoken about the tariff. The president is encouraging Ghanaians to plant food. What do you think about that? I think it's a really good idea because it's something that we have been talking about a lot.
Yeah.
That buy land, even if you are not ready to build, plant something, right? We started planting cassava, palm nut, and stuff in this house. We are going to add plantain. We have pear.
Okay.
We are going to add mango. We are going to add pepper, tomato.
Is that the back?
Yes, at the back. Right? Everybody who is building, have some part of your land for a garden.
Okay.
Because even the kind of chemicals they use in the food we eat and stuff, even if you see where they store them and how they handle food, it's terrible, it's scary. Right? And the cost of food. Hey, Charlie, I hear the cost of plantain now is not a joke. Oh. We did a video where we were talking about why people like food like right now, right?
Do you know the cost of?
And somebody said now a bunch of plantain is selling for 500 Ghana cedis. Hey! How did we get here?
Yeah, we got
but plantain is growing over here, even in the bush next to my house. We have like 5 plantain trees. So Ghana, we are blessed. You don't really need to do a lot of heavy investment into agriculture. It grows everywhere. Let us be buying the land, but let's also get a garden or a farm somewhere.
I'm very sure they'll probably be tired of me saying my father, but my father again, right? In the house.
Maybe we need to bring your father to the show.
So if you come to the house, he has his own okra, tomato, pepper. Now one is pepper like different, like bell pepper. Like he has done different pepper in his own little garden, right? He has done cassava, right? We have a big mango tree, right? That when he yields, he gives free mango to people. Wow. When he comes to the house, come and collect mango. Growing up in the house, we had sweet apple.
Okay.
Alugun to go.
Yeah. Oh, that thing is really good. I hear it cures cancer and stuff. I hear it prevents cancer.
So growing up, we had sweet apple, we had plantains, we had noni, we had banana. Wow. We had oranges, we had lemon. Wow. There was ginger, there was guava.
Oh wow.
Right.
So we need to bring the product to the
show. So there was. I remember eating guava in particular. My experience, right? People used to wonder. Apparently, I never knew guava was a rare thing for people.
Okay.
Right. So anytime I talk about eating guava, they're like, "Where did you get it?" Like you eat guava. Guava is not nice. So, and I'm like, I grew up to those things, right? So even currently today, we still have the mango, we still have pawpaw. Yes, we have pawpaw, we have the lemon, we have pepper, different.
Wow. No, Charlie.
We'll
bring your father to the show. Let's read some of the comments from our YouTube live team. There are lots. Richard, can we have like a poll in the chat asking about grade versus, solar versus gen, and let's see which ones people prefer. Kobe Kente says, I plan to put in solar. Amazing. Red Bunny Classic says, solar plus inverter plus battery. Excellent. NK says, about this clinker alternative, how sure are we of its durability over the long term? I don't believe any such data exists. Let's be very cautious because if it leads to structural issues later, I get your concern. I really do get your concern. Kobe Kente says, I also plan to do a small greenhouse too. Amazing. Red Bunny Classic says, plantain is good. I'm telling you, it's like plantain is a new good. Even ripe plantain, you get in town again. Next Level Inc. says, I plan to do both. Okay. Okay, fantastic. So keep the comments coming. Again, if you want to join the live to share your thoughts, we would really want to hear from you. So keep it coming. And so I am in line, like I'm aligned with everything that the president is saying concerning planting. Let's do so. Okay, so Words of Wisdom channel says solar is the best. Wow, interesting. Okay, so we have the poll in the chat for those who are watching live. Just vote. We'll see which ones people prefer, and then Richard will let us know the total, tally and all that. So let's just keep voting, keep the vote coming. Now I'm very aligned with what the president said, and I really think that's the way to go. Now let's move straight into the rest of the topic. Again, speaking about where to buy land there, Kwehu is going to become big in Ghana. Kwehu, Kwehu, Kwehu. I've said it.
Well,
What's the distance from Accra to Kwehu?
so the distance, let me put up real quick.
Okay, so whilst you look for it, let me go and read the article that came up, which made Kwehu all of a sudden going to. And you see, when these things come up, what it means is that the land in those areas are going to be very expensive. So you come here for free consultation. You guys need to pay us because we take our time during the week to find out all the things that you need to know.
Great.
Including prices of building materials, including land prices, including news items that is going to increase prices, and you need to make the necessary action. So what's
the distance? So from Tema to Kwehu is 200 kilometers.
200 kilometers.
Time travel is 4 to 5 hours.
Wow.
That's if you're using the motorway, you pass through Accra, Motetekwashi, then Ibri, then Nkoko, then Kwehu.
Okay.
If you're coming from Kaswa, it's 190 kilometers. That's if you're using Kaswa Malam in Sawam, Suhum, Nkoko, then to Ibri. If you are coming from Osu, right, it's relatively about the same 185 to 200 kilometers.
Okay.
So 3.5 to 5 hours, depending
Okay.
if you're using Chocho or you are actually driving there. So yeah.
So Kwehu is almost the same distance as Kumasi.
Yes, looking at it.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. However, please don't consider the distance and the time. Kwehu is going to become hot cake in Ghana. And when I say these things, please believe me, because I do a lot of research. I am sitting on a lot of data. We have access to information. Now, government plans to support enterprises through Kwehu Business Forum. Now, this is just this past week, right? The Chief of Staff, hey, where has my news article gone to? The Chief of Staff, Mr. Julius Debra, right, has said the government was committed to supporting local enterprises through the Kwehu Business Forum, an initiative expected to benefit up to 600 businesses by the end of the president's 4-year term. Now, addressing the media on Monday, which was just last week, he underscored the government's dedication to empowering indigenous businesses, stimulating private sector growth, and fostering entrepreneurship nationwide. We are talking about it at the presidency because of the importance the president attaches to it. It is a project that he wants to succeed. Scheduled for this weekend, the Kwehu Business Forum will convene startups, SMBs, investors, and major industry players to network, share ideas, and promote investment in local ventures. Now, he further revealed that the ADB, Africa Development Bank, along with leading financial institutions, will participate in the forum. Now, guess what? Each bank is expected to adopt 5 viable enterprises to support with funding and mentorship. The first strategy the bankers themselves gave us is that each of the banks that will show up is going to pick 5 bankable projects for this year. And they expect that next year, when we return to Kwehu, they will invite those 5 people they assisted come and testify. Now, he says, should the initiative be sustained annually, he believes the long-term impact will be transformative. Now, if this continues for the next 5 years, each bank picking a minimum of 5 enterprises, he's sure by the end of the 4-year tenure, they'll have blah, blah, blah. Although currently focused on Kwehu, he suggested the forum could evolve into a nationwide platform, attracting entrepreneurs and institutions from across the country. Now, even though it is titled Kwehu Business Forum, he thinks going into the future, it could become national in character, whereby business people will travel from all over the country to converge on Kwehu and to have interaction with bankers and public institutions. He added that future editions of the forum could include participation, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So let's break this down, because for me, this is really, really exciting news. Already, Kwehu is very popular for what?
Enjoyment.
Easter. Yes, Easter enjoyment. Paragliding and all these things. And Easter is just this weekend. Oh, goodness. We didn't wish our cherished audience happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
I know it's not a holiday in US and other places.
Yeah, but in Ghana.
But in Ghana, It's a long weekend. The longest weekend guaranteed by Jesus. Oh, clap for Jesus. Anyways, so every Easter, people queue. Like the traffic is mad.
Yeah.
Leading to the eastern region. Using the Ebri Road, using the Nsawam Road.
Yeah.
And this year was no different. It takes hours to get there because that's where Easter is known to be. Now, during that period, hotels get completely booked.
The Gentis, they know.
Like all the hotels in the city and even in the nearby towns get booked. There are lots of economic activities, there are concerts, there are things that happen. But it happens for just like one weekend.
Yeah.
Now, this news is big because apart from the weekend, banks are adopting SMEs and businesses within that area.
Okay.
Now, traditionally, I think...
But what does that mean to those of the people who don't understand all the big English?
I'm coming to it.
Yeah.
I used to work in EcoBank.
Okay.
Right. EcoBank doesn't have a branch in the Eastern region.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I worked there, people in Kufuoridia, Kwehu and things, they come to Medina.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
To come and do deposits and come and do withdrawals and any kind of banking that they need to do.
Why were people doing that today?
No, you see, the thing was, if you are a business, you want to look at the economic viability of a place.
Okay.
Does it make sense to invest money into a branch where there aren't a lot of businesses there? Okay. Right? Because Accra is where everything is happening, Kumasi and other places. But Koforidua, which used to be the capital of the Eastern region anyways, there's not a lot of businesses. Okay. So schools like All Nations University, Valley View and all that, they come, when it's school fees time, they move from Koforidua to Medina to pay their school fees. Wow. And the place gets choked, right? So this news is really important because this is the government's intentional, conscious effort to invest in a place where traditionally businesses don't happen. Okay. Right? And the business only happens during Easter. Okay. They are trying to make it like a place where business will go on throughout the years. Okay. And so banks and private institutions
forced to come there.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
And once the banks go there, people will need to work in the banks. Where will they stay?
The cool area.
Yes.
Okay.
Once banks get there, markets will grow there.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Businesses will thrive there. Okay. Barbering salons will come up.
Rough.
Hairdressing salons will come up.
Yeah.
Beauty salons will come up because the bank workers need to look beautiful.
Every day.
You get me? Hotels will come up. Hospitals will come up.
Yeah.
Police stations will come up.
Yeah.
Who is the one buying the land over there? That person is about to eat good money.
He built apartments on top.
So, Richard, before I continue, let me know how many people selected National Grid, how many people selected solar, how many people selected the generator, and then we'll read some of the comments, right?
I'm looking at some of the prices of the land at Peru.
Okay, tell us.
Some are selling for 30,000, 35,000 outright. Yeah, CDs.
Oh, goodness. 30,000 CDs.
Outright.
My brother, when we close, go and look for the people selling the land. And go and buy at least half plot. I'm serious.
Outright.
I keep saying these
40,000.
things. 40,000 CDs.
Yeah.
What is 40,000 CDs today? 2,000 something dollars.
18,000. That was in Sawam amount from.
Yeah, but it's still on the way. Okay. 18,000 CDs. Because even during Easter and stuff like that, right? When the place gets through, people can come and dwell in your Sawam amount from and stuff. So 30,000 CDs. Buy 10 plus 300,000 CDs. It's still not a lot of money.
25,000.
25,000. Buy 20 plots for 500,000 CDs.
Asamankesi.
Asamankesi.
Is it on the road?
Yeah, it's on that side.
14,000.
Wow. No, Charlie. Opportunities deal. In fact, people should be paying us for these videos that we are doing because we are helping. Somebody said we are solving more problems than the government of Ghana. All right, so let's read some of the comments and then let's continue. Okay, please, if you are enjoying this video, it's going to be a crime for you not to like this video or share this video. So Words of Wisdom channel says solar is the best in Ghana because ECG is not reliable. The only thing is solar is expensive. Jedida Israel says my goal is to go completely solar, but the cost of solar for my entire building is going to be high although prices of solar materials are coming down as technology improves. Agreed. NK says, another option I'm looking into is power stations charged with solar panels. Agreed. Dick Apronti says, no option for hybrid in the poll. Just select one or put it in the chat. Kobikete says, I always thought Kwehu land was expensive because of the weather. It is not, as we have seen. Andofred says, Kwehu is already big. What's the population in Kwehu? Okay, so Richard is giving us that statistics. At 23 votes, 83% for solar, 4% for generator, and 13% for national grid. Interesting. Really, really interesting. Really, really interesting. So let's continue with the topic of the day. Hey, Charlie, the things are plenty. We haven't even scratched the topic of the day, oh, Charlie. So yeah, this is my handsome face that you are seeing here on the interview we did with Super Sem, right? So it's on the channel. Please go and watch. We toured this huge factory of theirs and all the amazing things they are doing over there. So you can watch it. Let's keep the Kwehu and things. Right? Let's go straight into the solar conversation. Solar is good, right? But solar components are expensive. So before we did a video, we did some research on the prices of panels, and averagely it's like 1,700 cedis to 2,000 cedis for 450 watts, 480 watts, 500 watts, right? And if you even want a 5,000 watt setup,
okay,
that is, let's say, almost 2,000 times 5. That's what, 10,000 cedis for just the panels. Then let's move again into the price of the other components that you need. So if you want like a good inverter, right? This one here, which is a 10.2 kilowatt hour, is selling for almost 40,000 Ghana cedis. Right. And for me, that I'm so energy conscious and I don't even use a lot of electricity at home. I manage the electricity usage. When I'm buying the appliances, I'm checking the number of stars. I'm checking the energy consumption.
The inverter?
Yeah, the solar power is the inverter.
So the inverter is a battery as well?
No, the inverter is not a battery.
Okay.
The inverter is like
tell us so that we don't assume that.
The hardware
that
helps you to configure and then to also change the energy coming from the panels into energy that can be consumed by your appliances.
So we can use the solar alone?
Come again?
We can use solar alone?
So it depends on the type of inverter, right? So since you've asked, let's move into it. The panels there, they are pretty standard, right? There's monocrystalline and stuff like that, pretty standard.
Okay.
It just depends on which capacity you are going for and the number that you are buying.
Okay.
Now, I was talking about my energy consumption and the fact that I'm very particular about the type of devices I buy, their energy consumption, their ratings, and their energy efficiencies. Right. And when I check my ECG app, on average, I use 10 kilowatt hour a day.
Okay.
Right. So it means that if I'm going for a system where I'm going to be completely off grid, that's the kind of setup I need to be looking at. Okay. And that's the one that was selling for close to 40,000 cedis for the inverter alone.
For the inverter alone, okay.
And so I'll need, if I'm buying like maybe 500 watt solar panels, I'll need 20 of them. And if on average one is, let's say, even 2,000 or 1,005, that's another 30,000.
Yeah.
So right now we are sitting about 70,000.
Yeah, 70,000.
Then you need to buy the battery. So let's see how much the battery costs today on Gigi. So again, if you want, so the one I even showed was the battery, it wasn't the inverter. So this battery, which is a 200 ampere battery that can power the 10.24 kilowatt hour, is the 40,000. And then the inverters, there are different types. Okay. Right, like the way we have cars, different types. Okay. There's Toyota, there's Mercedes, but they all take you where you are going. But depending on the features and the durability and the brand, right, you can get between 5,000 to as much as 40,000, right? But
for the
inverter.
For the inverters.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. So if you are seeing my screen right now, you are seeing 5,000 watts selling for 10,400. Okay. 6,000 watts selling for 12,500. Different brands. Some are even selling for 57,000 cedis. Wow. Right. So like I said, it depends on the type you are going for. there are different types and different brands and different features,
Okay.
different technologies. You get me?
Okay.
Some have all these intelligence features, AI features, and stuff like that. They are the really, really cheap ones. They'll do the job, but maybe after 5, 10 years, you change them or something like that.
Fantastic. We don't
But it
mind.
works, right?
We don't mind.
Yes, we really don't mind. You just want something that would enable you to do maybe your remote work,
5 years
to
is a
have
long time.
uninterrupted power supply,
Yeah.
and also to safeguard the high voltage we get when
Yeah.
electricity goes on and off
Okay.
like that. So for me, the setting I use is during the day, the panels are working,
Okay.
right, by default. And when we are going to work, usually it's during the day.
Yeah.
So the panels are working. During the night, we switch to electricity, the grid,
Okay.
when the sun is not shining, right? Then when the light goes off, it now switches automatically to the battery.
Okay.
So during the day, the panel is charging the battery.
Okay.
If the light goes off during the day, right, we move on to the battery
The battery. Okay.
because the light is still shining,
Okay.
right? And then the grid is the backup during the day.
Okay.
Then in the night, the solar battery
Okay.
is the backup.
Okay.
And so this is a hybrid system. Somebody could want fully off grid. You need to check your electricity consumption. Like I'm going to do a dedicated video on this
Yeah.
topic. So do make sure to
thank you very much.
subscribe. I know it's a bit technical,
Free
and all that,
consultation.
right? But on average, you are looking at maybe 70 to 100,000 CDs for maybe a 5 to 10 kilowatt system,
Okay.
because you buy the electrical cables, you do a lot of things, railings, the breakers, and all these things.
Can that one hold AC?
Yeah, I mean, I run AC on the solar,
Oh, nice. Nice.
but
Okay.
again, it's a big topic,
Okay.
right? The AC, what's the capacity,
Okay.
right? If your inverter capacity, let's say, is 5K,
Mm-hmm.
like 5 kilowatts,
Mhm.
and your AC is 2,500,
Oh, okay.
right? It means when the AC is on, the number of things you can run at the same time are very limited.
Limited. Yeah.
So there's a fine balance that you need to manage.
Okay.
But if you want to go fully upgrade, I've had people coming to us for estimates, and they want a 30 kilowatt system because they have a lot of appliances in their house.
Yeah.
They want to run multiple ACs at the same
Same
time.
time.
So it depends on everybody's situation. And so the main point of this video is with regards to the increase in electricity tariffs by 15%, if you project maybe over a 5-year period, and in Ghana every year electricity prices increase,
Okay.
will the additional margins make sense that you go for a solar hybrid system,
Okay.
or you just manage the situation? Under which conditions will somebody want to go for solar? For me, that I do these kind of works,
Yeah.
and I want uninterrupted power supply, I would want to go on solar. But somebody will say it will be better to go for a generator because it is cheaper to get
Yeah.
started with a generator. Can you get maybe a price of a generator that can do maybe a 5 kW or 10 kW on GG, and let's see, right? If you look at the initial setup cost of generator, it could be 50% or 70% cheaper than the solar panel.
Yeah.
But then you remember that the generator, you need to keep getting fuel.
So for a 8,500 watt generator, it costs 4,000 cedis.
4,000 cedis.
Yeah.
8,000
500.
watts.
Yeah. Watts.
Very cheap.
8,000
right?
watts costs 4,000 cedis.
Mhm.
So all the 8,000 watts, I think, is 4,000.
Yeah. So the initial setup cost is very cheap.
Yeah.
So even if it's 4,000, the rest of the components that you buy to connect to the house and all that, even let's say 10,000, it's something you can get started today,
Yeah.
right? As opposed to an initial investment of 70,000 for your solar.
But these are
or
the ones that make
100,000.
the ones that you.
Yeah, whatever.
the
If you want the
ones.
more expensive ones, they will be more, maybe
Okay.
close to 20,000 CDs,
30.
but it's still cheaper
Okay.
than a 70,000 CDs
Yeah.
investment. And remember, the solar is not going to last forever. The batteries have cycles,
Okay. So you
right?
need to
So
replace-
some have maybe 6,000 cycles, 5,000, 2,000, 10,000.
Okay.
It means that the charging and discharging at a period, you throw the battery away and go and buy a new one.
New one. Okay.
You understand? So if you look at it carefully, solar is very expensive, but it guarantees you a certain level of peace of mind.
Okay.
You don't really care about ECG.
Okay.
And if you do remote work, or you are living in a place where maybe you are the first person to build a house over there.
Yeah.
And so the electricity poles are nowhere close to you. Solar starter pack.
Okay.
You get me?
Yeah.
But if your energy consumption is so high, then you may want to do the grid because it's cheaper in the end.
Okay.
And then maybe get a generator as a backup. Or you could get a battery that the electricity charges and an inverter without getting the whole solar thing.
Okay.
And then that will still supply you with what you need.
So in Nigeria, right, from my experience, you notice that most of the people in Nigeria use generators. Reason being that I think that fuel is cheaper.
Exactly.
Right? So the cost of using generators for them is cheaper than moving to solar. And most of the times they are, I think from my experience, and again, they use the generators when they are there. When nobody's in the house, everything is off.
Yeah.
And I barely saw solar when I was in Nigeria. At least from where I was staying, I barely, if you've seen some or I mean, there would be, but I barely saw solar. So with the cost of getting, what's it called? The generator, right? Also depend on the fuel prices.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I get you. So let's read some of the comments from the YouTube live. A lot of interesting comments coming in, and I want everybody to keep commenting, whether you're watching the live or the replay. And can we get at least 100 likes on this video? Oh, it tells YouTube that the content is good. It's worth sharing, right? So that more people would see. That's the only way you can support us. Thank you, Fabre. All right. So someone says, for value for money. So this have no price. It's always the national grid. Christiana Pickens says, I'm definitely looking into solar when I start my project. Interesting. Kobe Kente says, so if you had to install the solar in your house today, would it be more or less? Oh, it would definitely be more expensive.
Yeah.
Than when I did it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Right, because Ghana, every month things are increasing.
Blast.
Red Bunny Classic says, media unique cool inverter AC can run with 600 watts of power. I see, interesting. Do you work with media or something?
Specific.
I swear. Words of Wisdom channel says, I'm definitely going to use solar. I thought it was super expensive. Looking at what you are saying with 100,000, I can set up a solar system at home. That's cool. Decking a house will cost 120,000. So for her, if she's paying 120 to deck, why can't she use 100,000 for solar? Next Level Vision Inc. says, I'm hearing that generators are noisy. So there are noiseless ones.
Yeah, that would cost
and there are
more.
noisy ones.
Yeah.
But the noiseless ones are way more expensive. Again, generators, we need to consider the smoke.
Yes.
Right. And people have died through smoke inhalation of the smoke produced by generators. Yeah. Right. So for me, I'm paranoid. Solar is okay for me.
My father built a generator space.
Okay.
Right, where the generator is.
Charlie, when is your father coming on the show?
So it's like there's a space for the generator, right?
Okay.
So there was also like a pool, right, for the emission of the smoke or whatever, right?
Okay.
So there was a safe space for that. It had like you can lock it. Yeah. So you could also consider.
Interesting. Really interesting. Okay, so let's keep reading the comments. NK says, where you choose to build your home determines how much you spend on electricity for AC, especially if you live in the mountainous areas. You might end up not even using your ceiling fan for this.
Yeah, that one there, your hall.
Yeah.
Upstairs.
Come on. The place is so cool. I remember when we moved here initially. I was even regretting putting ACs there. No, to be honest, I hardly use the AC.
Yeah, because it gets cool.
Really cold. And even like during the heat season, the place is so windy. If you're on a mountainous area, it's really good.
Living a good life.
Yeah, I'm living a good life. But the initial cost of building on a hilly area is also to be considered. Elvis Asiedu says, good job, guys. Oh, thank you. Again, if you want to join the live to share your thoughts, we'll be wrapping up pretty soon. You can click the link in the chat for the community and then join. Let's get ready to wrap up. So again, you are seeing the prices. We can support you if you want to do solar installation. So you can just send us an email. We'll be delighted to support you. All you need to do is to send us an email. Our email is in the link. Again, when we talk about solar, we have solar panels. But guess what? It's not just a solar panel. We have cameras. Yes, Etonam, you want to tell them?
Yes, we have
about
solar CCTV cameras that Charlie, it's everything you actually need if you are starting as your building project. It's the full combo on its own.
Okay.
Right? So just send an email, call us, and purchase your. I will come and fix it for you personally. So yeah, just call us, send us an email, and then purchase your security camera today before the prices go up.
How much is one currently?
Right, as at today.
Today's date
is 20th April 2025 on a Sunday at 10:35 p.m.
Hey, it's 10:35.
It's selling for 3,300 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
Only. But please, let me add this. If you are buying this, you also need a SIM card.
Okay.
So please make sure you have your SIM card ready before I come, because I will come myself.
Hey.
Right. So please.
So you want to see this fine man? Please order some solar cameras from us. Buy 3, buy 4. That's one way you can support our business. Thank you to everybody who has been purchasing. We sold to at least 100 people in the community. That's like 100 homes that have been secured. They're able to monitor their building project, whether it's completed or now starting. Thank you so much for the support. We really, really appreciate it. Kobe, you want to say something? I can see you've raised your hand, so you can come in and then share your thoughts.
I kind of just wanted to ask with the solar cameras, right? I have currently two installed in my house, and I like yours better because I think it does 360, right? You can, right. However, how do I get the app on my phone? Because doesn't it use a barcode? And if I want to monitor and I'm not there, how would that work?
Okay, thank you so much for the question, Kobe.
Okay.
Your question is really, really clear. So there's a companion app that you download onto your phone, and you can watch from anywhere in the world, and the picture quality is so amazing. So once you purchase, we would help you with the initial setup and all that. You don't need to worry about it. Okay, so let's read some of the comments. Elvis Asiedu says, "Gents, I need your telephone number. I have some ideas I'd really like to share." So Elvis, all you need to do is to just send us an email. We will get our contact. The reason why we don't put our number out there is that thousands of people, we tried it once, we're getting like thousands of calls. We couldn't even work. So send us an email. Once we see what it is, our email is on the screen. We would help you. Okay. All right. So let's read some of the comments again. Kwame A says, carbon monoxide from generators. That's what can kill someone. True. Okay. So let's look at the whole solar conversation. Come again.
I hope we've answered Kobe's question.
Yeah.
On our solar cameras.
Oh yes, we've answered this question.
So is there anything he wants to clarify?
Okay.
So he wants to just make sure.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
No, I think I fully understand. If I do buy one, I have one of those chips, and then you can replace it, and then somehow I'll get a companion app. But what I was more interested in, would you scan it and give me a I can't scan it on my phone? Is that how it works? Or maybe when I do.
Okay, so Kobe, once you purchase one, right,
Yeah.
will give you the QR code, and then you can use that to connect to the app.
Yeah.
Right? It's very simple. You don't need to worry at all. Right. We would support you. We'll support you once you make the purchase. Fantastic.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. You are so welcome, sir. Okay, so back to the topic as we get ready to wrap up. Now, Ghana's abundant solar power potential has been identified. There's a lot of sunshine, right? A lot of daylight, but we are underutilizing
the sun.
Hey, yesterday's sun was serious, so
we're wasting the sun.
Charlie, I'm wondering why we have so much sunlight in Ghana and in Africa, Nigeria like this, and they are living in Dumsor. Like, we'll take this it's a whole topic for another day. Today, we are just telling you that the prices of electricity are about to increase. These are the options, and these are the things that you need to consider, right? Now, Ghana has significant solar potential, averaging 5 to 6 kilowatts per day, per meter square, right? Every meter square in Ghana, right, can generate 5 to 6 kilowatts per day. That's incredible.
America, some people have solar, and they are selling their power back to the States.
Now, the renewable energy goal in the national energy policy, we have a whole policy to increase the proportion of renewable energy in the total energy mix and ensure its efficient production and use. Lots of big words, but we are not doing it. That's terrible. Okay, now the barriers to to the solar installation, why people are not using it, is the high upfront costs and financing barriers. I'm really looking at getting a lot of money to make solar as affordable as possible for everybody.
Thank you.
I'm envisioning a day where with 30,000 cities, people can get solar to power their fans so that they don't die of heat.
Sockets.
Their socket switches, the barest minimum things.
Okay.
Like every home should be able to do it.
Okay.
20,000 cities, right? And 20,000 is not so expensive.
Okay.
Every home, because on average, most people use between 200 to 1,000 cities on electricity every month.
Okay.
And if you multiply that by 12, that's what? 2,400 to about 12,000 cities. So 5 years, people would have done the 20,000 cities. Why don't we get solar investment? I'm praying that God blesses me with a lot of money.
Amen.
I'm really looking forward to that.
I'm praying for you too.
Yes. Or if you are a solar company, you want to partner with us to make this dream possible, send us an email as well. All right, now the next part is the import taxes in Ghana, which is killing all of us. Because if you buy anything from China, again, that's where we buy all our things in this world, especially in Ghana. The import taxes are almost equivalent to how much you purchase the thing for. And I've said it 1,000 times on this channel. It's just crazy. And it doesn't make it exciting for people to do business in the solar space in Ghana. Then the policy challenges, inconsistent tariff structures, delays, and all these things. Then loans, people who don't even have loans in Ghana. And so the solutions, right? We need to look at other alternatives. We have a lot of wind in Ghana as well. What are we doing with our hydro? What are we doing with all these things?
Nothing.
And so I think this is a good point to close. Let's see how many people voted. We had 37 votes. 84% said they want solar. So there's a huge market. It's an opportunity. Business people should jump on this and come to Africa Building Hub, and let's help you to promote it and get solar to everybody. Look at the way Elon Musk has come to Ghana with Starlink. And people are buying Starlink and taking it to their most remote places, and it's working there. Solar would also work. Let's adopt it. With this, we want to say a very big thank you to everybody who has joined us for 1 hour, 22 minutes. If you watch this far, whether you're watching the live or the replay, I want you to comment the following. 84% went for solar. When you say that, I know you watch till this far, and we really, really appreciate you. We have a lot of banger videos coming up this week. Just subscribe, like, and share this video. Thanks, Bebreys. Thank you so much to Richard. We really appreciate you. You're amazing.
A lot.
Thank you to Priscilla. Thank you to Tina. Thank you yourself, Etonam.
Thank you to
You're
Frank.
on camera.
Thank you.
And of course, Kobe Kente, thank you for joining and sharing your thoughts. We really, really appreciate you. If anybody wants to join our community, the QR code is in the chat. Just scan the QR code right now on your screen. You'll be able to join our WhatsApp community. Have yourself a very blessed, fruitful week. We wish you all the very best in your building project. Same time next week, Sunday, God willing.